gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us last night in our putting clinic. So I'm just going to go over a quick setup since I was brought up in the clinic, and we didn't spend a lot of time because we want to focus a lot on our distance control. But if I were to give someone a just basic fundamental setup, what I would want them to do is I want them to hold the putter out in front of them with their arms straight. You're going to see the putter shaft going up the forearms. Okay, from here, we're going to take our forearms and our elbows and we're going to pinch them in. We want to make sure when we do this, they go this way, they don't go that way. So we're going to pinch them in, so this putter's still going on our forearms and we have a slight hinge. From there, feet are going to go shoulder width apart and we're going to hinge until the putter hits the ground. And that's going to be our main putting setup. So you're going to see the shaft of the putter goes to the forearms. The main thing when we do this is we want our forearms to be flat. We don't want them to look like this. We want them to look like this. So from face on, it's going to look like this. Alrighty, ball position is going to be right off the inside of our left pack. So once we get that good setup, we talked about what is the key to putting. The key to putting is distance control. So how we control the distance we hit the golf ball. A lot of times I hear people say that they either need to hit it harder or softer, but they don't give themselves a detailed explanation of how do we need to hit it further or how do we need to hit it shorter. So there's two things that we have to use to control our distance. Number one is tempo. So the speed, we move this putter back and through. 1, 2, 1, 2. A slower tempo means the ball is going to go shorter. A faster one, the ball is going to go further. The second thing is our stroke length. Okay, so making sure that our stroke length is the same back and through is vital in putting. Most of the time, I find stroke lengths to be short back and very long through. We'd rather, if anything, have a longer backswing and a shorter fall through. We also would rather have a faster backswing than a slower backswing. Okay, so the worst thing we can do in putting is a slow backswing and a short backswing. If you do those two things, you're going to have to accelerate the putter through. And like we learned in the clinic, PGA Tour players slow down into the golf ball. Their fastest speed is 2 inches before they hit it. They then are slightly slowing down into it. So there's actually a deceleration, not an acceleration. Okay, that's a very important thing. For those of you that struggle on longer putts, if you struggle getting to the hole, that's because our backswing probably is not fast enough or long enough going back. So a little drill I gave everyone was what you can do is you take a little coin, you're going to put it on the back of my putter. And what I want you to do is I want you to throw that coin off in the backswing. So it should come off as you make the transition. Do it one more time. That's going to show you how much speed you need to take that putter back. All right, so once we did that, we talked about one little drill that we did to help our distance control. I'm going to run us through that drill really quick. What you're going to do is 3 tees. You're going to put them a grip length apart. So the golf ball is going to go in the middle tee. So it's always in the middle tee. Okay. So you're going to take 3 big steps. 1, 2, 3. You're going to put the coin down or a ball marker. Our goal is to try to get the balls to stop as close as they can to each other. Okay. What you're looking for is we're looking for the putter to go back to the back tee. It's going to stop at the front tee. It's never going to go past the front tee. Most of the time when people are doing this drill, they're going to get the putter to go past the front tee. Now what I'll combine with this drill, once you get the putter to go back to the back tee through, is I'll then use a little bit of tempo. So I'll do something like this. 1. That one went a little further. My tempo is a little faster. 1. So that one was much better. And last one. So if you master this drill, we should be able to get a group of balls to stop somewhere around a grip length of each other. It doesn't have to be right on the coin, but it has to be consistent. Consistency is the key. If you can hit multiple golf balls in a row to the same point, that means our distance control is pretty good. Alright, gentlemen, so this is our main distance control drill. Once we talked about that drill, we then worked on understanding how to play for break and how to analyze putts. So what we found is when we used that true roll putter, we found that the break that we need to play, most people would have underread the putt. A big thing, a study came out that amateurs generally will underread putts by close to 50%. And so if I were to look at this putt, give you a quick little rundown, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look from about 15 feet behind the ball, kind of in your view right here. I'm going to analyze all the way around, about a 20-foot circle around the hole. And what I'm seeing is the ball, it's really breaking left to right here. So I'm going to put a tee probably out about this area. Once I do that, I'm going to go around to the side where the putt's going to break to, and I'm going to read the putt from this way, and I'm going to actually check uphill and downhill. So this putt for me is slightly uphill. Why do I want to check uphill, downhill? Uphill, downhill will affect break. When it's downhill, the putt's going to break much more, so I would have to add more break. Uphill doesn't change break very, very much unless it's severe. So this isn't severe enough to change the break, so I'm going to try to aim the ball, aim the club right at that tee, and then I'm going to hit the putt down. Okay, so this goes to our analyzing part. First thing I always ask myself, was that the proper speed? That ball went about 5 inches past the hole, so it was fantastic speed. Second question, did I start it on the tee line? I feel like I made a great stroke there and I started right where I wanted to, so that would be a yes. The third thing is, then I misread the putt. So I actually played slightly too much break. So now I'm going to take the speed, I'm going to move it about an inch closer. Now I'm going to hit another putt. I'm going to try to aim it at that tee. Alright, so that ball hit the other one. So it was hit a little harder, but was an acceptable speed. I would say yes, it was only going to go about 1.5 feet. Did I hit on the line I want to? Yes, I believe I did. So then 3, I'm still overreading the break cycle. So I'm going to again move this tee another inch. Now I'm going to hit another putt. And that was good speed, and that one fell in. So now I know how I can look back here correct and make sure that I see the proper amount of break for the putt. So this is a great little drill to use. Now what you're going to notice, what helps me with this drill, is that my distance was very consistent. All these balls would have been in a pretty nice group past the hole. If we're the person who hits the ball 3 feet past and then short and then somewhere in the middle, it's going to be very tough to read green. So you're never going to quite understand how much break you should read. So being able to control your distance consistently helps us learn how to read greens. So I always encourage that as you get better at your distance, you do this little drill from about 10-15 feet away, and you're going to start to learn how to read putts much, much better. Alrighty, and again, our 3 analyzers. 1, did we hit the right speed? 2, did we start on the right line? And 3, if we did both those things, did we read it right? If we missed one of those things, we want to try again on the same line and then see where we go from there. Alrighty, so that's how we want to analyze putts to help us learn how to read greens better. Okay. At the very end, we talked about a game. Okay, and our game was where you would take a mark, and when you'd set it down, this is where you hit the putts from. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take 4 big steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to put 4 tees down, and they are going to be a putter length apart. Okay? Your goal, and again, this has to be on a breaking putt, so you need the ball to be able to break. But our goal is going to be to try to get the ball to break between the tees. Okay? So this putt does not break enough to do that. But our goal is going to be the first ball has to go through the first window. Okay? That one went through the second window. If you miss the window, you make a bogey. If you hit a tee, you make par. If you get to go through the tees, you make a birdie. So now I have to go through the second window. I don't get to repeat a window ever. Okay, missed that one too. That one went to the third window. Now I'm going to try to go through the third window. So I have 2 bogeys. Ooh, I missed that one. So 3 bogeys. So heads up for you gentlemen. When you're doing this drill, do not pick a pretty straight putt. Pick a putt that breaks quite a bit. If we pick a straight putt, that's going to make this drill very tough. That would be an advanced level version of this drill. If we pick a bigger breaking putt, that's going to be easier, and then you can build up from there. Alrighty. Last thing, we talked about when we read greens on the golf course, we should be reading greens as we are walking up. About 30 yards before the green, take a note of the high points, take a note of the low points, because you're then going to prepare yourself to be able to read your putt before you get to the golf ball. So a bigger picture view in reading greens is much more important than a small view. Most of the times, if we had a putt of about this length to the hole, we're going to stay right here, and we're going to almost feel like we stay on top of it. It's very tough to read putts when you're on top of them. Much easier when we're further away. Further away, I'm going to be able to see the green more. I'm going to be able to read the break more. All right, gentlemen, so start reading greens earlier. Look for high points, look for low points, and then work on your analyzing skills after you hit a putt so you can learn how to read putts better and better. So I hope this helps, guys. Please let me know if you have any questions, but this was a great session. Again, distance control is key. One thing I want to hear all of you guys be able to say is, if you hit a putt too short, I want you to be able to tell me how you're going to hit it harder. Okay, not just I'm going to hit it harder, I'm going to do it by X and X. Okay, if you need a putt shorter, I want to hear how you're going to do that, not just simply I need to hit it softer. All right, so that's your challenge for you guys. I hope you can do it. Look forward to seeing you next week.